Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. It's time for another easy recipe. Today we're going to be making the calzone. It's an Italian folded pizza. Actually, that's what it is. You make the pizza and then you fold it. What we call the hot pockets, Italian call it calzone. Only it tastes like pizza because it's made with the same pizza dough. Something that I always wanted to have, believe it or not, as a kid, I used to work for an Italian restaurant, and the boss was just a tyrant. He was like a pit bull. You were not even allowed to look at anything during your break. So none of us ever dared to eat anything from there other than what you buy or bring with you. I always wanted to do the calzone. They were really popular and almost never left over. So yeah, from all these years, this will be the first time for me to actually taste and have a calzone that I make myself. Let's do that. I can't show you all the ingredients like I normally do because it's just too many. So the calzone, obviously, we're going to first be making the dough and then the how do you say that? The filling or the stuffing that you will be stuffing it with. So for the dough, what you need is 250 grams of flour. You know what? Actually make it 225 grams of flour because I always like to add a little bit of semolina. And then do 25 grams of semolina. You need 1 egg. You need 7 grams of yeast, dry yeast. Even you need 5 grams of salt, 5 grams of sugar, and then 100 milliliter of milk. That's what I will be doing in here, as I will show you in a minute. There it is. It's now 251, but I promise you guys, it just was 250. So that's a total because, like I said, 225 grams of all-purpose flour, and then 225 grams of all-purpose flour, and then 25 grams of semolina. Sorry, guys. I'm not really feeling well these days. Not even kidding. My chronic pain acts up, so you'll have to bear with me. Anyway, so that's that. Then we're going to continue to 1 egg. There it is. Then we're going to continue to 100 grams of, we call it margarina. I don't know how you guys call it. I'll show you. So this is what I meant. 100 grams of, butter that you normally use to smear on your toast or sandwich. 100 grams of that. So I just added the 5 grams of sugar and 5 grams of salt. How do you measure that? Just, 2 tiny pinches. That's what I do. And now the dry yeast, 7 grams. We have little pockets of 7 grams. If you don't have that, guys, you just have to measure it. When you add the yeast, don't shock it like we say. Don't add it between the other ingredients. Definitely not anywhere near the salt. Just pick a little corner for it and then just, let it be like a cat, like we say in Holland, like a cat who's watching from a tree before you start to mingle it with the rest of the ingredients. So now the only thing that's left is 100 milliliter of milk. Always warm it up a little bit, like lukewarm. Well, how do you warm up 100 milliliter of milk? Because that's not a lot. For example, your microwave or on your stove. Okay, so there you have it, guys. Everything is in there. So there it is. I did not mix it like too long, just a couple of minutes really, because this is going to sit for an hour. I know. So I'm going to take this out, grease your hands with a little bit of olive oil, take all the dough out, and then put it in like in a plastic bag or something and let it sit for an hour. Okay, just make sure that it's covered. So guys, there's the dough. It's really sticky. Don't worry about that. If yours came out sticky, that's how it's supposed to be. Just, again, make sure your hands are either greased with olive oil, enough olive oil, or keep them wet when while taking the dough out of your kitchen machine. So I'm going to let this sit for an hour. In the meanwhile, we're going to be making the stuffing. So guys, for the stuffing, really, anything that you have left, this is literally what we have left in the fridge. Tomorrow they're going to be delivering the groceries again. So I have a red pepper, bell pepper, I think you call it. We call it paprika. 2 tomatoes, one of these hot peppers. I still have the barbecue sauce that I used in a previous video earlier this week. And if you don't have the barbecue, I'm just gonna cheat because the barbecue sauce give it a little bit more flavor. Just so you know, sometimes you have to substitute the normal tomato sauce with the barbecue sauce. If you're going to make like hot pockets and stuff like that, you need to brush them a little bit with a layer of tomato sauce. Instead of that, do this. So if you don't have that, then of course the regular tomato sauce will do. So I'm going to be using, in this case today, the barbecue sauce, 2 tomatoes, this, that. I still have some coriander lost in the fridge, a couple of cloves of garlic, a little bit of a couple of pinches of salt, some smoked paprika powder, and that's it basically. Oh yeah, maybe some Italian herbs, typical Italian. Well, they're not Italian, but they're typical used in the Italian kitchen, like oregano and thyme. I think I have pizza basilicum. Yeah, I'm gonna use a little bit of basilicum too. I think that's it. Oh, or you can go for the Italian herbs, which has all of that in there. See? So I think I'm gonna use this instead, just because I have it. If you don't have it, then guys, get a little bit of oregano, a little bit of thyme, a little bit of basilicum, and that's it. Just do your own thing. Oh, and then some onions. So I have here 2 medium onions that I'm chopping. First, we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil into the skillet. And then always start with the onion. So I'm gonna fry the 2 onions that I'm chopping here till they're a little bit soft. Then add the chicken. Okay, there's the chicken. I'm gonna wash it. And then cut it in little pieces, like strings, little pieces. Just remember, it's gonna be going into the calzone. And then add it in there as well. Okay, so there are my 2 onions, still frying them. Wait for them to get a little bit brownish. And then add the chicken. No, guys, I forgot the garlic. There it is. Just use one of these garlic squeezers.
You don't need to put garlic.
No.
No, it's not obligatory.
For the Italian recipe, it is.
No.
It smells so good, you guys. It smells good. Mike is traumatized by garlic because sometimes I go a little bit overboard with garlic, and when we work, sometimes you can smell it, which I don't like either. I don't like it either. But now we're home. So look, now that the onion got this color, I'm gonna add the chicken. Okay, so next I'm gonna clean this, take all the seed out, because the seed is really dangerous, you guys. It's gonna be too much. I'm gonna take all the seed out, clean this, cut it in very tiny pieces, like really tiny pieces. That's how I like it. And that's how it gives off the most flavor. I'm gonna do the same thing more or less with this and the tomato. At this point, wait for the chicken to fry a little bit, to lose this pinkish color first, and then I'm gonna cut all the vegetables that I have left, which is this coriander, the paprika, the 2 tomatoes, and then this, and then add it in there too. You guys see the tiny pieces of paprika, or the hot pepper, I should say. Just very tiny. And then the coriander. All right, and now these 2. Okay, so now I have everything in there. I'm gonna let it on a little bit of a low heat, simmer all together. Doesn't have to be all cooked and ready and all, because remember, it's still gonna go into the hot air fryer. Now is the time to add a little bit of the Italian spices, if you have them. If you don't have them, then at least some rosemary or thyme or oregano or basilicum, or a little bit of everything. And that's it. A little bit of salt and smoked paprika powder. It's always nice. Gives it the nice flavor, nice smell also. Guys, it smells delicious. Really, I can just dip my bread in there and just have it like this. But we're not. We're going to use it as stuffing for the calzone. So it's been simmering for about 20 minutes and it's done. I'm gonna take I'm gonna drain all this juice, because whenever you make hot pockets or something with dough that's folded, never forget to take the juices out, because otherwise it's gonna ruin your dough. Your dough won't bake. It's gonna stay wet, mushy, and it's not what we want. So I'm gonna drain this, let it sit till the dough is ready and till the calzone is ready to be filled. Just use one of these things to drain your sauce. But you know, keep it a little bit like this. It doesn't have to be as dry as wood, if you know what I mean. So yeah, so guys, for this we're gonna be using the pizza accessory of the hot air fryer.
Pizza.
See, it will make sure that it's baked from all the sides. So just to prevent yourself from having to deal with dough in your hand, trying to adjust the size and all that, what you're gonna do first is just measure how big this is, and then you know, make it like this. Make a cutout of the baking paper, and just cut it along the edges. Give it the same size as the accessory, and then you can continue on the baking paper with preparing a calzone. That's what we'll be doing. The dough has been sitting for an hour. As you can see, it did rise. See, it's one big fluffy ball. I don't know if it shows. So maybe this is better. See, you can see that it did risen. Is that how you say it?
Rise.
Did rise, yeah. Gonna take this out, and you know, depending on how this will work out, you can do 2 big ones or 4 little ones. Just gonna see. Again, depends on how the size will work. So guys, just sprinkle a little bit of flour and then roll it back and forth. And now we're going to cut it for exactly the half. When you have your dough bowl like this, cut it in half and then roll it out, and then do the measuring thing. Like I said, make 1 little pizza and then stuff it and fold it, like I'll show you. Okay guys, so this is what you do. Use a little bit of flour. I would suggest for you to use this on baking paper, because the dough is a little bit tricky. The dough is a little bit tricky. So this is what you do. Just spread it out. Then the tomato sauce or the barbecue sauce. Smear it all over. Smear. See, like this. Then it's like making quesadilla. That's what it really is. It's like making quesadillas. See? This is it. And then some mozzarella. Mozzarella little balls here and there. And then you can either use, like you would with sushi, use your baking paper to help you, like this, and then be very gentle with stretching your dough while making your calzone. And if you want to make it like the authentic calzone shape, you know how to do this. You gotta shape it like a shell where the 2 ends meet, like this. Now,
Look at you.
you can, yeah, I know. I would leave it on the baking paper until it gets a little bit of crust. Then take it off the baking paper and then just leave it in your hot air fryer, you know, to get a nice crust, top and bottom. Okay. There it is. The 2. And now they're going to the hot air fryer. Alright guys, so there they go, about 180, 175, 480 for about 14 minutes, but like always, keep checking. Alright. So it should be done within 25, 30 minutes, but put it first on 14 minutes just to see how it goes. And then you're gonna have to add another 14 minutes to the timer. So total of about 30 minutes. So that is 30. Guys, I just came to check because with dough, you never know. It rhymes. So now that it's got a little bit of a crust, I'm gonna try to take out, flip it and try to take off the baking paper it has been sitting on, and also lower the temperature. So I'm gonna lower the temperature to 170 because otherwise it's gonna dry too fast, or maybe even 165, and then the timer on another, let's say another 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna flip it so that the other side will get a nice crust too, and remove the paper. So there it goes. And it's because normally, I mean, we make pizzas too with this hot air fryer. So normally it will get on both sides the crust at the same time. But because it's been sitting on the baking paper, it blocked the whole circulation. That's why we're gonna put it back like this. Like I said, maybe 165, well, maybe 170. And again for 170, again for another 10 minutes. We do not want it to go too fast. Come back to you guys when this is done. Guys, this is just the juices that came out. Ow! Burned myself. See, this is why you shouldn't be doing this with bare hands. Anyway, there's the other one. Just to make this easy for now, for the vlog. There's the other one that came out. This is how it comes out. See, nice little bread hot pocket. And if you're wondering if it's well baked inside, well, look, I just took a bite. Wait, maybe trying to give you proof that, look, see how nice it baked. It's not doughy, it's not like this wet dewy that did not came out right. It's perfect. It's fluffy, it's nice, a lot of air in there, and perfect. Let me do a thumbnail. And here's the other one. See? Just make sure that you close it better than I did. I didn't close it. I didn't do a good job of closing it, but just because that's what you see here, those burnt ends, just vegetables that were sticking out, so they burnt because they can't take that much heat for that long. So that's it. Otherwise, it's really good. There you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Go and make your own. Love you. Subscribe if you haven't done so, and talk to you in the next video. Love you guys. Bye-bye. We're really hungry. I'm gonna keep this short. Bye. Guys, what do you think is going on there? I'm seeing 3 cops searching this car.
Maybe you can zoom in.
Yeah, I am zooming in.
Zoom in.
Oh, this is the Max. They're searching through this car like crazy. And every now and then, they come up with something that they put on the roof of the car. And then they dive back in the car again.
Drugs.
Could it be drugs?
I think it's drugs, but it looks like a car from a
Yeah, it looks like a company car.
company car.
There are all kind of logos on it. Haha. I wouldn't want to be him. See, every now and then they take something and they put it on the roof. And it's funny how it started, because first it was only one that's diving in the car, the other two.
It's now 4.
It's now 4. Is it 4? 3?
No, 4.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking, I'm not.
It's 4 of them.
Yeah. Is it 4? No, I think it's still 3.
Oh, it's 4.
No, one is opening the car, the other two are just standing. I think they're learning on the job. There used to be concept. Do you guys remember that time? Learning on the job?
No.
Which meant your company did not want to invest in new colleagues, so they just dumped them on your plate.
That's what they do now.
Yeah, that's what they do now. It's the new time.
They
They used to have an, do you say that? A training. Yeah, a training program.
Training with colleagues.
It's now, it's now a joke. It's really a joke. Here you have them. No, it's now called learning on the job. Yeah. All right, so I know what they did. They're gone, but the car's windows are still down.
Maybe you can ask. What did you do?
It's always good to keep an eye out to see what's happening in your neighborhood, guys.
Yeah, up to a point.
Yeah? You don't think when police are researching a car, you don't think that's worth keeping on your radar?
No.
Yeah. See, this is why we differ. All right, guys, have a good day. This was it. I'm gonna go get back to work. Bye. Guys, look, I just love our sweet neighbor. See? We can work and be friends together. Here's the neighbor. And this guy comes to fix his ship. But at the end of every work day, he invites him for a beer. And they just sit there together and do a beer together. Isn't that wonderful? That's just how easy it can be. No drama, no politics, not bashing each other's head, nothing.
Why not?
Just that simple. Sit down, have a drink together. Not necessarily alcoholic. just sit down and be civilized than two people. We're not aliens to each other. This is how easy it can be, guys. Honestly. Just makes me sick when I see people talking about human interaction as if we're aliens, not able to connect. That easy. There you have it.